Hi, Ian here from Dark Blaze Workshop. Welcome back to another video. This is part of the continuing series on the build and paint of Minerva McGonagall by Knight Models. Okay, so now we're on to the exciting stage where we get the paints out. I've been out to the garage, excuse me, and I've given it a quick prime with Halford's Grey, and I haven't hit all the spots, so I can still see little bits of the deeper areas that I haven't hit, you know, in the middle of the pendant and down the sides. And so I'm going to use this Game Colour Cold Grey, and I'm going to use the airbrush to try and smooth everything out. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to leave it at an angle where I can get under that chin. Just a nice thin layer. Okay. I've got pretty even coverage now, so I'm a bit happier. Might fill in that bit at the back just because it looks bad, really, isn't it? Okay, that's definitely it. So just for a bit of fun, I'm going to use a bit of white. I've added some white to the grey, I mean, and I'm just going to spray it from above to make sure I can see where all the wrinkles are on the face. Okay, so I've decided to do the skin first, and I was looking for a slightly colder complexion, so I'm going to use an old recipe that I learned on a course with Fernando from FER Miniatures, and he used like a cork brown, and then he added Arctic blue for the highlights, and then a really dark desaturated red for the shadows. So that's what we're going to be doing here, but I'm going to go slightly lighter. So let's put this to one side for a minute. I'll show you. So these are the two colours for the highlight and the mid-tone. So this mid-tone I think will be a bit dark on its own, so I'm going to add a little bit of that for the base, you know, the base colour. So I've got 2 drops there, and I'm going to add 3 drops there, and we'll see what it's like. I'm going to add some thinner, and we'll mix that up and see what we get. Yeah, I'm fairly happy with that. So I'll just add another drop of thinner or 2, and we'll bang it in the airbrush and we'll put a base coat down. In fact, I might need some more thinner actually. Yeah, there we are. I've got enough now. So I'll transfer that to the airbrush and we'll make a start. Okay, so here we go. Just going to build it up gradually so it's nice and thin, nice thin layers. I don't want it pooling at all. So just go nice and easy. I'm not pulling back on the trigger very much at all, so it's just gentle. Okay, I'm going to leave that dry and we'll do a second pass. So here we go again. The awkward bit is getting under that chin. Just find the right angle. Okay, happy with that now. So I'll leave it dry. Let's see if we missed any bits. So onto the eyes then. I've got Vallejo's Ivory, and I'm just going to block it in to the eye sockets. I'm just going to go in with a second coat now. Forgot to say this is quite thin paint. It's about 50-50 water and paint. And I'm just going to concentrate in the centre of the eye, really. I'm going to stay away from the far corners, because we're going to be glazing in there with a red quite shortly. Right, happy with that. So I've got Vallejo's red, and I've made a glaze, a very thin glaze. I'm just going to pull that into the corners. There's about, it wasn't even a drop of paint, and there's like 6 drops of water, so very, very thin. And I want to build this up, so it'll be quite a few passes. This is fairly similar to a technique that John Keyes uses called juicing. Really thin paint, and he'll do about 40 strokes until he's got what he wants. It just builds up very slowly. So we'll leave that dry. I can't see it at all on this one, but I know it's there. But say the more strokes you do, the slower it'll build up, or the more it'll build up. It just takes time. So going again with the red glaze. I don't want too much on my brush either, so I'm wicking off the excess. I'm starting to see it at the bottom of the eye now. I don't want to go too heavy, otherwise she'll look as though she's been out on a pop. And I'm sure she's not that kind of lady. Well, she might be, you never know. Yeah, it's starting to come now, I can see it. I'll give it another blast with a hairdryer now. Right, last one now. Okay, so going back to the ivory now, and I've thinned it down a little bit more. So it's more than 50-50 water and paint. I should say more water than paint. And try and get it into the centre of the eye now. Just to bring that back a bit. You want to go visualize where your pupils are going to be, and you just want to be outside of that area. So you've still got the red in the corners. Okay. Right, this is the worst bit. The eyes. Now I've got black with 1 drop of water in it and a little bit of flow improver in it, and I'm wicking off the excess onto my paper towel, praying to the paint gods and taking a deep breath. And I'm going to mark where I think the centre would be. I think that's not too shabby-ish. Change the angle on that. Okay, so now I'm going to draw the circle now. Well, 3/4 of the circle. 1/4 is going to be under the top eyelid. So same again, into the paint and then wicking off the excess. Now I'm going to try I'm going to leave that dry and come back and fill it in properly. I'll try and get the same size. This side. So it's not looking too bad, I just need to fill them in properly. So now to start on the irises, so I've got a medium green of mixed scale 75s, Irati green and Sherwood green, because they're the greens I'm going to be using for the robes. And on the box art, they look as though they're similar colours, so I'm not happy about the bottom of the eye on this side, because it looks like there's a little bit of looks like there's a little scratch on there or something. I'll try and get around that somehow. So I'm going in with the green, so I'm going to leave black around the outside, and I may have to do this off camera, I think, the rest of it, just to smooth it out. And the idea is to try and get a reflection down the bottom and one up the top as well, but we'll try and get this sorted first. I'll take a couple of coats. So the reflection is going to be up here and down here. So in between, I'm going to try and put a bit of a darker green just in there and up there. I don't want too stark a difference, because remember there's going to be a black dot in the middle of this as well. And I'll add some ivory to the original coat. For the highlight, which is down here. I'll just spot it on. Going in with that dark green again. And I'll attempt to spot the pupil now. So I'll bang on. In the centre, hopefully. I'll zoom in so you can see that. Yeah, I'm not happy about the bottom part of the black, so I'll keep working on that off camera and we'll come back, I think. Okay, I've zoomed right in just to try and explain what I've done. I've been working off camera on this for a wee bit, only because that I couldn't get close enough to the bust, because I've got lights in the way. I've got the camera right above, and it's just not working. So we started off with the black 3/4 circle. I filled that with the green, which was the Irati and Sherwood green, so it was a medium green. This part was a darker green, and a little bit up here as well, and then we added a little bit of ivory and did this highlight here and here, and I think I did the pupil then in the center. But after that I lined the outside of the socket, top and bottom, and then I used ivory on its own for this highlight here, and I added a little touch just at the top of that highlight there. So then I moved to the other side, and I couldn't for the life of me get exactly the same. So I'm going to start again. I've been chatting to the boys. I think I've mentioned it before, but I belong to a group of painters that are quite local to me. So, you know, Wales Painters Group, and Terry Cowell used to be part of the Figure Painter magazine setup, and he suggested that I block over that side and paint that one again upside down. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to block in the ivory and then just start again, I think, and see if we can come up with a similar result to that side. Plus the fact that my paints have dried on the palette and I'll have to mix them all again anyway. So, and they didn't turn out half as well on that side. So that's the plan. Because you can see that the highlights are, yeah, the highlights are in the wrong place, and yeah, it's just not the same. It's a different shape to the main part of the eye. So yeah, start again. So that's what I'm going to do. So here we go. No! I spent ages doing that. The only thing I'm fearful now is if I get an uneven surface, so I've thinned it down quite a bit. And I'm trying to keep it as even as possible. So I'll take a couple of coats just to get it back to where we were. Okay, so what I did was I marked, as we did at the start of the other eye, I marked right in the middle of the top of the eyelid and just brought it down and then worked around it, then filled it with green. So I just need to make sure I've got an even border around the green part now. So I'm going to refocus. Because I think I've got a little spot there where it's a bit thick on the black side. I think we're ready to start the darker bits on the highlights. So I'm just working the dark green there. And up the top corner. And start the highlights now. Minor panic as I drop my brush. So I'm going to add I'm going to do another pass with the light green. So it's just Sherwood green on its own. And I'll add a little bit of ivory to it now. And a little bit of yellow to it. For another highlight. And yeah, I'll keep working on the highlight off camera. So I just added more ivory to the light green mix, and I had to take the masking tape off just to make sure that I'm getting it in the right area. You need to go a little bit darker in between the highlight and the bottom. Go again there. I think when that pupil goes in, it might be okay actually. So another highlight, this time Ivory. And just at the top of that highlight there. And dot in the pupil now. Try and get it bang on. If you notice, I moved that highlight up a little bit, so I went over the original highlight with dark green and then Ivory right up the top then. I just need to work on the pupil a bit more. Let's make it slightly wider. Okay, so we've got a slightly wider pupil now, and I'm going back to the red glaze. And I just wanted to put a little bit in the corners just to make the just make it a little more intense right in the corner. And I think that's the eye's done. Quite happy this time, much better than last time. So that tip of turning it upside down actually worked quite well. So yeah, thanks Terry for that. We can move on to the skin now.